If you're looking for a home in Frederick, you might be surprised to find that some homes in Frederick have city taxes while others do not. So in this video, I'm going to cover 6 communities that do not pay Frederick city taxes that I think you need to know about. So let's just dive right into it. Hey everyone, my name is Eddie and I'm a realtor here in Maryland. And if this is your first time visiting the channel, thank you for being here. And I just released my brand new relocation roadmap that you can download for free in the description below. And when you download that, you also get access to my weekly insider where I cover everything that's going on in the Maryland market week by week from my perspective. So when this video is over, make sure to go in the description and click that link. All right, so how exactly do taxes work here in Maryland? Well, first you have a state property tax, then you have a county property tax, and if you live within a municipal boundary, a city boundary, you also have a city tax. So when we're talking about Frederick, what's interesting is there are areas kind of scattered about that are within and outside of those limits, and some areas that are farther away from the city have city taxes where areas that are closer to the city don't. So it's important to know which ones are which I'll cover. But if you're outside of the city limits and you have a house assessed at $500,000 by the state, then you'll be paying a yearly tax bill of around $6,110. But if you have that same house within city limits, just jumping over the line, maybe even farther away from the city, that yearly tax bill would jump up to $9,251. So you're talking about over a $3,000 difference a year or $250 a month difference. So it really matters if you're within or outside of city limits. So what communities are outside of city limits? Well, the first and the largest community is Ballinger Creek. And what's great about this community is it's just 10 minutes from downtown Frederick, and it has a variety of housing options. You have single family homes, townhomes, condos, and even apartments for rent here, and they are across various ages. So you have brand new homes over on the west side and places like Harrington Terrace, and then on the south side and east side, you have more established communities. So just a ton of housing options here. And Ballinger Creek is also where a majority of the commercial retail areas are in Frederick. So right on Buckystown Pike is pretty much everything you could need. You have your Home Depot, your Lowe's, your Walmart, all of the chain restaurants, local restaurants. So much nearby is so much of the amenities in Frederick as a whole are right on the south side by Ballinger Creek. And because the age of the homes varies here, it also brings the price point down just a little bit at $423,500 at the time of this video. And compare that to the Frederick median price of $464,990, and you're below the median for the area. And the second community on the list is the Villages of Urbana. And this is the farthest south you can go in Frederick. It's also the closest community to DC because of that. And this is the absolute hottest community on the list where people are moving to right now. It's located right on top of I-270 and Route 80, meaning that it is the ideal commuter location. And one of the cool things about the Villages of Urbana is they have their own individual villages or neighborhoods, but a huge amenity package here with multiple pools, multiple community centers, various walking trails. So it really has a ton to offer as far as communities go. And another cool thing about Urbana is that it feels like its own town. If you ask someone where they live when they live in Urbana, they're going to say that they live in Urbana like it's their city, not like it's their neighborhood. No one says they live in Frederick when they live in Urbana. So it really does feel like its own city, and it really should be if you look at it. It is huge. It has its own shopping centers, its own library right in there. So it feels like its own town, and that's the really cool thing about Urbana. And you have a ton of shopping and dining options right in Urbana itself. You also have doctor's offices, an urgent care center, a ton of retail options. So there's everything you need right in Urbana itself. And you can also go up either I-270 or Route 355 into Frederick for everything else you could need. Now, the other thing that makes this one of the most popular communities, or the most popular community on the list to move to, is the schools. Everything is districted to the Urbana school system, Urbana Elementary, Urbana Middle, Urbana High School. And because of that, people want to move here for that. It's one of the highest rated school systems in the county, and people want the mix of that school system with the ease of access to I-270, and because of that, the median price point is a little higher. And at the time of this video, that is $642,000. So almost $200,000 more than the Ballinger Creek area. And the third community on this list is one that's rarely talked about, and mainly because it's kind of tucked away in the southeast side of Frederick, and that's the community of Talon Ridge. Now, even though it's tucked away in that southeast corner, right by the Monocacy River, it is only 10 minutes to downtown Frederick. And this is a newer community made up of townhouses and single-family homes that just finished most of their new construction homes in the last couple of years. But even though it's a smaller community and it's tucked out of the way, it does have a full amenity package. It has a outdoor pool, a clubhouse, walking trails, and the cool thing about this location is it's right next to Pine Cliff Park and the Monocacy River. So you can not only walk to your pool from your front door, you can also walk to Pine Cliff Park, which has access to the Monocacy River. You can go floating, fishing, just swimming in the river. So it's a really cool location and not talked about enough. And because it's a newer construction community, the median price point at the time of this video is $637,500. And moving on to the fourth community on the list, that is the community of Spring Ridge. And this is a well-established community that straddles I-70, which is another major commuter route to Baltimore and a major commuter route across the country. And I'd say this community has the tightest community feel of any on the list. And they have a ton of community events, food truck nights, just a really great place to live if you want to be involved in the community and know your neighbors. And while the homes are somewhat older here, you have the townhouses, you have condos and single family homes in Spring Ridge. There are a ton of homes that have been renovated in recent years, and that trend is just continuing. So this neighborhood is seeing a huge turnover, and it is very popular. I'd say it's right behind Urbana as far as the hottest neighborhoods in Frederick. And this community is also about 10 minutes from downtown Frederick. And the cool thing about this location is that you can bike to downtown Frederick with minimal exposure to main roads. And a lot of people here do that. They bike to the breweries, they bike to Carroll Creek, and not many communities on this list have that ability. And because there are condos for sale in this community, the median price point is a little lower at $415,500, but the price range here ranges from the high 200s to well over $1 million for the single family homes. So if you are searching here, be realistic, pick whether you're going for a condo, a townhouse, or a single family home, and then you'll see the real price range. And coming in at number 5 is a community that was not on my radar for a very long time, and that's the community of Waterside. Sitting on the northeast side of Frederick, right near the popular Warman's Mill community, this is a condo and townhouse community, and somehow it escaped the city limits because it is completely surrounded by communities that are within city limits. And even though it's a smaller community, it does have its own recreation and amenities. It has an outdoor pool, it has a tennis court, and that's something that you don't find in a lot of very small communities in Frederick. And one of the better things about this community is the price point. And at the time of this video, the median price point for Waterside is $397,000, so the most affordable community on this list. And the sixth and last community on the list without city taxes is Clover Hill. This is also the oldest community on the list, made up of single family homes, and somehow it has avoided being annexed into the Frederick city limits because every new construction community around it is annexed into Frederick City, like Tuscarora Creek, Sycamore Ridge. They're all within city limits and they surround it, even Whittier. But for some reason, Clover Hill has stayed outside of that, and that's one of the benefits of living here. And the single family homes here were mostly built in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and something that's surprising to me here is that they also have community amenities for being an older community. They have the outdoor pool and clubhouse, and they have trails and places to walk. So this is a great community. It also, because of having older homes, is undergoing a lot of renovation in recent years when you see homes coming up for sale, but it also poses a huge opportunity for those looking for a fixer-upper to build equity in. And because it is made up of single family homes entirely, the median price point is higher than others on this list that have townhouses and condos factored into the numbers. And the median price point at the time of this video is $650,000. So there you have it, 6 communities without city taxes where you can live right near downtown Frederick. Now, that's not to say that you should not live within city limits. There are plenty of benefits to living within city limits, but that extra money per month that you're spending on your mortgage payment, which goes to taxes and escrow, that's a lot of money for some people. So if you want the amenities of a community that's just outside of that limit, or maybe even closer than some that are within city tax or city tax limit areas, then these could be good options for you. But these are not the only communities in the Frederick area without taxes. There's also plenty of homes that are farther out, maybe 15, 20 minutes out, that are not in established communities. If you want more privacy, more land, there are so many options. So if that's you, if you're considering moving to Frederick, whether it's one of these communities, in city limits, or outside of city limits, well out into the country and into the mountains, I'm here to help. And the best way to connect with me is to go on the link in the description or the caption below and click on that link to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. We'll go over a plan for your move. We'll get everything together, whether that's 2 weeks away or 2 years away. It's never too soon for that call. So make sure to set that up with me sooner rather than later. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe subscribe so you stay up to date on all my videos about moving to Maryland.